ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our fourth of 6 matches for today. I'm LD and he's Merlini, and we're going to talk about LGD International versus TongFu.
You excited?
Exciting matchup. I don't think two of the sexiest teams of the tournament, but it's still an important match for TongFu. They just got 2-0 by Alliance. We want to see if they can bounce back. We'll start with their opponents, though. 2-6 in Group B. They have been struggling quite a bit. They were very disappointed with their day one performance. It's LGD. We'll start with their one position player, Pycat. Carry player, likes Luna. Pycat means Pycat in Swedish, in case you didn't know.
I like leaving LD hanging.
Yeah, thanks. G, God kill them all, the Russian.
Hyper aggressive.
No surprises there. Brax, 3 position, off laner. Young gun on the team. Lots of talent. Misery, your 4 position, one of the most experienced players. It is an interesting mix overall. They've got a lot of different players as far as nationalities, backgrounds, and styles go, and that leaves us with 1437, 5 position support. So LGD, I think one of the weaker teams in this tournament, and they've looked it so far.
Their laning's not that poor. They just seem to fall apart like post 20-25 minutes, which is usually most Eastern's time to shine. So like I think they really need a good early to mid game lead if they want to take down TongFu.
As for TongFu, we saw some aggression from these guys in their first game against the Alliance, and it was almost enough. Hal was the one leading the way there. Shadowblade Alk, 1 position player. We don't have the Alk on there, but he's been playing it quite a bit. That leaves your 2 position. It's Mu, one of the most respected. There we go. One of the most respected solo mids from China by the Western
Beat out Ferrari?
players.
Oh wait, did he beat out Ferrari? No, he's 1-1 versus Ferrari.
Yeah, but a lot of the Western players really respect him as a solo mid.
He's pretty good.
3 position, King J, veteran. He's kind of calling the shots for this team now. eHome, legendary player, 2010. All the belts in the world as far as championships go, but 4 position, Banana.
Fantastic support.
Definitely their stronger support player. It leaves Sangsheng. He's been with the team for a while. Has not really been a standout player, and I think if they want to go deep, they're going to need him to step up.
Yeah, all he needs to do is just follow Banana.
Yeah.
And just not get caught out of position. It seems like way too often he just gets caught out, and as a support, you die in like 2 spells.
You can't get
caught out.
Well, with that being said, we'll hand it over to our casters. Purge and Lumi will be covering this one, so guys, take it away.
Lumi, are you awake? Okay, you are awake.
I'm just face palming right now.
I think he's a little upset with the draft, so let's hop into it really quick. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. This is a pretty big match, as we did talk about the standings. We were saying, oh yeah, TongFu's essentially 4-2, but this is going to be a tough match. I think LGD has a chance of taking a game off of them, and every game that they take off of TongFu is going to really hurt their potential for hitting top 4.
LD, can you sub for me? I don't want to cast another. Last game, Wisp did lose, and obviously TongFu did give away first pick. Or sorry, they realized that they don't have first pick. They don't ban the Wisp on purpose. Perhaps they have a strategy against it. Also, the big statistics coming out of this tournament so far is that second pick has been winning a lot more in this tournament. So I don't know exactly what the value is. I could tab out to quickly check. 65% win on second pick.
Yeah, if you guys don't know exactly how good 65% is, that's a 31 win, 17 loss, which always looks way better to me than the percentage. I mean, that's a huge difference. So second pick does give you better chances statistically on a small sample size.
It's a small sample size, and I'm pretty sure in those second pick win games, not many of them had Wisp in it. So that's kind of, I guess, the storyline that we were missing out. But we saw in last game, when you have heroes that are very elusive, such as the Queen of Pain, such as Timbersaw, such as Sakuchi Weaver, you don't really care about the Wisp too much. He is quite weak early on. If you have enough burst damage, that's what we saw with the Timbersaw, right? If you just Chakram, Whirling Death, Chain, and that Wisp just blows up. So if TongFu have, Timbersaw as a counter in mind, maybe they run it, but I'm not sure. I still don't feel comfortable by a Chinese team giving away Wisp.
Well, LGDN's going to grab Razor once again. This is a hero that they've been actually drafting quite a bit. The last game I saw of them, they grabbed a Razor. They got absolutely stomped. I don't know if that was the cause, but it does give them a lot of potential to steal damage from annoying heroes. The hero that was banned Tier 1, by the way, was actually Lifestealer, so it wasn't exactly picked up just for the Lifestealer pick. There's also an OD ban, so it wasn't grabbed for a OD counter pick. Just some teams really honestly like the hero. Another benefit that he has is some minus armor out of his ulti, which can help you kill the Dragon Knight as well.
Yeah, I really think that we're going to have these two teams match up very well together, and this should be a very exciting game, because TongFu, the way that we saw him saw them play against Alliance, they like to be very aggressive early on, especially in that game number 1, how getting that Shadow Blade from the safe lane and just start ganking all over the map. And that's what LG International likes to do as well. They like to double roam quite a bit with the support and then set up kill everywhere else. Now, LGD in the past have been running things like Wisp, Vengeful Spirit, and Nature's Prophet as kind of like your dual gank, tri-gank. It's actually surprisingly effective as a ganking squad. And let's see if TongFu is ready for that. You pick up a Juggernaut, you can spin dodge Magic Missile, I guess.
Yeah, and even describing it as a double roam with the Vengeful Spirit is even a little inaccurate, because the way that LGD Int has been playing Venge lately hasn't even been as a 4 roll. It's more of like a 3.5, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't CS that often, but he consistently purchases expensive items. And some of the other games that we've seen, Misery do extremely well in that position. Think about him in the past. He's a very old mid player, so he has the snowball potential with him. And Vengeful Spirit is definitely a hero that gives you that potential.
Well, we're not going to see that this game. We're going to see the Shadow Demon.
3.5 Shadow Demon?
Maybe less successful.
Yeah, probably.
But I think I picked up to set up that Razor link. Actually, Razor is going to be very good against Juggernaut. Juggernaut spins in, and he wants to be next to you doing the damage, and you steal the damage. Obviously, you have to tank the Blade Fairy for a bit, but generally as a Razor, you're that tanky. I think the big storyline for Razor is that either he does really well or he does very poorly. There's very lack of in between, and we'll look towards who is playing it and how well they will snowball with that hero.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to come back with heroes that don't have hard disables or flash farming tools, and Razor doesn't really have those. Sure, it's great to be able to static link and sap damage and get a big damage output, but you don't have an escape, really. Like, if they jump on you and they have the right disables, they can just blow you up. And before you get items, I mean, he needs items to get tanky. He definitely needs EXP. It's kind of a weird, interesting situation. And one benefit here, he can sap damage from the bear, which is one nice thing that as a result of TongFu's picks here.
And TongFu has to know this, so I'm very surprised in them picking actually into this Lone Druid. Obviously, the combo here is that you do Juggernaut, Healing Ward, and you allow your Dragonite, your birds in front, your Lone Druid Bear, just to basically everybody hit the tower.
Yeah, it's definitely a pushing strat coming out of TongFu.
I mean, I guess it's okay. Sure, there is static link against the bear, but the bear could be easily pulled back, recall back, and the link breaks. One thing they do have to be careful is that there is a lot of ways to cancel that recall back. Rocket Flare, Shadow Demon Poison, and whatever else that LG Gaming In is picking. So TongFu looking for a semi-aggressive early game strat, a very aggressive pushing strat. And I'm not sure whether LG Gaming has what it takes to deal with it.
Yeah, the one thing I do like about Razor as a draft, though, is that Plasma Field, his first skill, is a really good counter-pushing method. It has quite long range. It can do, I believe, 370 magic damage. Let me just check. It's going to mess up all our overlays. Yep, 370 damage max magic, so you can counter-push with that pretty easily. They might need another spell. They've got Rocket as well as Razor right now, but they definitely need at least one other thing to try to slow down the push if possible. And it's going to be tough, though, because they've got the Juggernaut Ward, they have Lone Druid, they've got Visage, they've got Dragonite. That's basically 3 heroes that are extremely good at tower pushing, and a tanky support out of Visage and Rubik on the backside to cover everybody.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to go into TongFu in the front line at least, because they just have so much stun, the instant stun from Dragonite. They have so much HP. The Healing Ward is going to be somewhat in the back and hard to reach. But I think when you have a hero like Clockwork, you could isolate a Rubik on the back line and just kill him very quickly. You have a Wisp. You could port half your team to the back line if that's what you want to do. So I don't think TongFu should be feeling too confident in terms of making a frontal push and expecting LGD just would not defend it, because I think LGD will have many avenues of defense. In fact, they could even smoke behind. That's kind of a little bit more traditional way of doing it. So LG, depending on what they go with this last pick, I think something like a Lycanthrope is what they like to play quite a bit. Luna will be pretty decent in conjunction with Clockwork. I feel like they need at least one more core, and they need a core that will do a ton of damage. Well, I guess Brax's Nature's Prophet would be pretty good here.
So this is going to be in the off lane, which means that he's going to be able to pull the creep wave past the tower. The downside being Lone Druid Bear plus Healing Ward means they can more or less infinitely tank the tower. So I'm still a little bit worried for the tower's total survivability here, but hopefully it goes okay for them. So let's go over the players quick for the Radiant team. LGD Int currently sitting, I believe, 2-6 in the group stage. So very low chances of hitting the top 4, but most importantly is how many games can they take off of TongFu? We've got Pycat playing Razor, 1437 on the Wisp. Misery's going to be playing Shadow Demon. Brax is on the Nature's Prophet. And the last player is going to be G, playing the Clockwork.
Yeah, as for our Dara team, TongFu, they have very tough matches coming up. I think they have a match against Navi, I believe, as well as IG. And they're basically competitors in terms of who's ranking higher in that group stage. So every single match for TongFu right now matters quite a bit. And on the mid row, we have Mu playing the Dragonite. Shansheng's going to be playing the support Visage. Banana on the support Rubik. We have King J playing Juggernaut. And last but not least, Hao, who's generally a one-row player, playing the Lone Druid.
And we'll see what his build is here. He's got a Stout Shield on the bear. Kind of looks like an off-lane bear potential. They're going to do one aggressive ward. This should block the camp. I think it's right in this big square of blocking. Was about the ward block.
Sounds about
there.
right, yeah.
So hopefully for them, that will not get dewarded. Are there sentries on the Radiant team? I would assume so. Pycat going for a fast basey build, and yes, sentries on the Shadow Demon. We'll see if they catch these. There have been a lot more common observer wards in this general area here, so it's entirely possible that somebody will be able to block that with a sentry placed around here.
Yeah, generally when you see enemy team making that 5-man kind of invading your jungle, you kind of do expect some wards to be dropped off. Banana is going to hang around, try to contest for a rune, but here comes the Razor. If he could get the link off, no. Banana just got up the hill like that.
Maybe should have linked to Shadow Demon instead to go for the disruption, but maybe they didn't want to force it. They really had no
I mean,
idea
if
what
they
the
get
rest
that
of the team
disrupt
was.
off, he was dead, right?
Yeah, it would possibly. It's
Yeah.
hard to say. They didn't have any disables after that point other than a tether, so they could have tethered with static link to maybe killed, but
All right, so this is going to be a Triling versus Triling, and of course, on one side you have Visage, one of the most insane Triling hero. But on the same side, you don't really have too much stun. You have a lift into a slow, I guess, into some spin. King J trying to go into the jungle. Now, one good thing about this particular offensive Triling is the fact that you can challenge pools very easily. The pool is blocked off for now, but I expect it to be dewarded very soon from LGD International.
And again, Razor pretty good against Juggernaut. I feel like LGD got really lucky with the heroes that TongFu happened to pick. Like, Razor works against Juggernaut, and he works against Lone Druid. So, got kind of lucky there.
Yeah, I mean, again, it questions TongFu's drafting in terms of picking straight into those heroes. Back on the top lane, we don't really need to see too much of this particular matchup. I think Brax is going to have a very tough time. This Spirit, even if it doesn't pick up an Orb of Venom, which I expect Hao to do so, he's going to just really shred Brax's HP.
I'd like to point out, this is really important, there's actually a mid pull going on right now by
Yep.
Wisp. They cleared out all of these trees, he was able to get it. It's a lot harder to do this right now, and there was pretty much an instant patch when people started playing this in the pro scene because it was so imbalanced. And if we look at the EXP levels going on right now, G is about to hit level 3, Moo's still only level 2, and he's going to be at a big EXP and CS deficit because of this. It is extremely game-breaking, honestly. So nicely done by Wisp to be able to pick this up. This is 3 creeps that were denied EXP, and he killed 2 entire jungle camps by himself.
Yep, so he hits level 2.5, very good time. But back at the bot lane here, I think because there's, the Wisp pulling in the mid lane, it's a 3v2 lane situation. They have to win this, but unfortunately, it's hard to actually get an initiate off.
Yep.
As long as Shadow Demon stays back enough, they're not going to get the kill. But back in the mid lane, though, it was G, tether up, getting a battery assault, going straight in for Dragonite. Normally a tanky hero, but just went straight down there.
Yeah, he went for 2 battery assaults, which is really smart against tanky high armor heroes because it's all magic damage that will go through all of your armor. He is bottling up some regen here, used 1 breathe fire. Be just fine though. And G brings the bottle to himself, so easy illusion rune. This is a little scary as well because if he gets a cog in, he's going to easily be able to block in the Dragonite with a lot of damage.
Well, Dragonite, I mean, killing that DK at level 1 or level 2, it doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. It's going to harass him down a little bit. And yeah, I feel like in the past when we've seen Clockwork do very well, it's not really dependent on how much farm he gets or how much levels he gets. Really, it just depends on whether he's hitting the hook or not. And he's going to have more times hitting those hooks because he's going to hit 6 soon, but we'll see how G plays.
Might be hard to get both. Nope, he gets both with the rocket. Doing a really nice job to deny some of Moo's mana here. And the Tri-Lane has now shifted over. Wisp is level 3, which is a big deal. His spirits now do 50 magic damage per hit, so a total of 250 possible. And this turns this overly defensive Tri-Lane into something that could actually do something. We'll see the tether come forward. Stun goes down on King J, and here comes the spirits. Banana might be in trouble, but he does get disrupted. Here comes the tether. He hasn't done a link yet. Now picking him up for some damage, but he's got to be careful to spin. Banana looks quite dead here as Pycat will pick up the kill. Will they get another on Sansheng? He's heading for plus 28, which is a serious amount of damage in the early game, and he will go down. Slightly counteracted by the Rubik, and in the meantime, G picks up a kill on the mid lane, so 4-0 advantage for LGD Int to start off this game.
Yeah, TongFu's on a meltdown. King J's spin, by the way, hit absolutely zilch. Like, he was spinning between Rubik, or between Misery and 1437, so, like, it was just like a fireworks show. That did nothing. And, well, we don't expect a second kill going on the mid lane, but I guess the battery assault build has really... He's actually got 3 points on battery assault, just isolating that Dragonite and just finding easy kills. And now with the boots speed up on Clockwork, those kills come a lot easier.
2 kills on the mid lane. He's walking back to lane without boots. Moo is extremely far behind her because of that mid pull and the nice gank by G. A level 6 hero versus a level 4, I mean, there's very little Mu can do at this point. He can still pick up some CS, but easy rune control from G using his battery assault, and he picks up a haste rune, the scariest rune a Clockwork can get. If he doesn't get a kill out of this haste rune, I'm going to be really surprised.
Yeah, he's going straight up top here, and there's going to be very little response time. How should see it, right? There is an observer ward spotting that ward being picked up. He walks in the jungle, got to block that hook. It doesn't block, and that's going to be yet another kill. TongFu, is there mind in this game? Are they worried about a little bit further down the road? This observer ward sees the rune. This is an elementary mistake.
There's zero mistake or zero excuse for that to happen. And he definitely saw him pick up the haste rune. There was no pings from the mid lane. Maybe they're upset because they're losing and not communicating. I don't know what's going on, but that is a death that can't happen, especially because Lone Druid has an advantage versus a Nature's Prophet, and this is going to give him some space to free farm. He's picked up phase boots now, and now he can actually contest Lone Druid's last hits really well.
Yeah, I mean, LGD International is one of the most dangerous teams to allow to have this kind of start because, I mean, they might not finish the game well like other team, but they're one of the best teams in terms of just snowballing hard enough that you never actually look back. And LGD is off to one of those really good starts.
Yep. So the bot lane, see how they're doing. 2 kills on Razor. He's got 15 CS now. Juggernaut is only at 11. They're actually going to sap some damage. Pycat wants to fight this one. Oh, almost is able to stun KingJ. Pycat might be in some trouble. Great disruption from Misery now. It's going to keep alive. Look how much damage he's got. Plus 80. Here comes the Soul Assumption. It does get the kill, though, so Pycat goes down. The ulti from Nature's Prophet and another poison. Good pickup from Misery. They might not even get KingJ. We'll see. He's going to be getting low. Needs another poison in a second. It's not even going to matter. Salve. Not going to get it. Man, Shadow Demon picks up a double kill, and Misery, here comes, 3.5.
Man, I just want to say that all of that was the gank up top. It was a haste run up gank that hit the Nature's Prophet to level 6.
Yeah.
In that particular engagement, if they don't have the Wrath of Nature, they weren't going to pick up KingJ. They weren't going to pick up the Rubik. So it's just like the butterfly effect in a sense. Something small happened up top, and now transition to something huge that happened on the bot lane. And we're looking at 7-1. It was a nice kind of rebuttal kill against Pycat, but I mean, we talk about Razor either having huge games or not, either having no impact. And he's having one of those huge games right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Despite dying there, they set up a double kill for their supports, and this is going to get them to 6 even faster. Arguably much more important than the other heroes. Oh, geez, invisible. What is going on with this Druid? He looks like a mud golem, man.
I hate this
cosmetic set.
I hate this cosmetic. It looks absolutely atrocious.
I thought for sure it was a mud golem. Seriously. I was like, why is there a mud golem?
It looks... I like cosmetics because it makes your hero look better, but when it makes the hero look complete. What the hell is this? This is not Lone Druid.
G is so scared of this that he is literally going back to the mid lane.
This is a Lone Druid that got like a paint bucket poured on top of him.
LD likes the flames. Okay, another cog's actually being used. He's going to get stunned almost within tower range. There's the Grave Chill going to be lifted back in a bad spot, but he can actually hookshot. Great choice there. Banana's going to be so low, but he won't be able to survive. Yes, he will actually, just barely. The poison won't get the kill. Soul Assumption on Muno, and nobody dies from that one. Great decision making there from G. He's able to make it out. I thought he was dead for sure.
I mean, with the poison, he actually goes down to 1 HP, but poison does not do fatal damage.
Yeah, this poison does not.
Yeah,
so.
Unfortunately not. So, well, missed opportunity. I talked about the levels not mining or not being too much of a big deal for Clockwork, but that level definitely helped out there. Top lane, though, that bear trying to get a couple of entangle hacks going on, but nothing just yet.
I feel like if his back wasn't so naked looking, that it would be better. Know what I mean?
If it weren't white.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't talk about him ever again. Let's just pretend he doesn't exist.
Good, because he doesn't exist in this game right now. He's 0-1 with no farm.
Alright, Pycat has phase boots picked up now. KingJ's got to be really worried. Even when he hits 6, be able to kill Pycat. Look at the damage. I mean, that's a level 1 nuke, and he still does 160. He's going to drop the healing ward. He needs to make sure that he's at full HP in case a gank comes from these supports. And are they 6 yet? Almost. Shadow Demon's very close. G is sitting at level 8. And they're going to be setting up more kills soon. This is why TongFu's not even on the map right now. They are scared of the hook shots.
I mean, one of the only ways that you actually get hero kills early on is when Dragon Knight gets a Dragon Tail in for a stun, and maybe your Juggernaut's Omni Slash. And their team is not really built as we see a Link on the bot lane here. KingJ losing a little bit of damage, but that should be okay. Yeah, the team is mostly designed to actually go for pushes, but really we're not at that stage of the game. It's understandably so that they're losing some of those early games, but a lot of those kills they could have prevented. But yeah, right now LGD International off to a beautiful start. Let's see how they could snowball and where will they snowball.
Do you think we're going to see a Midas after phase boots here on Brax on the top lane?
I mean, I think so, but we'll
Might
talk
fight
about that
bottom.
later. Bot lane.
There's going to be another static link going on. Only going to steal 42 damage. He did this in the last push in as well, just to scare him. And most importantly, he can't get any last hits now. He actually didn't get that one. It was so close to dying.
Yeah, he has like 30 damage, which is unfortunate. So you were asking whether Midas is going to get picked up on Nature's Prophet.
Yeah,
I don't
is
see
it
the
too
reason.
late?
I don't see the reason for not to. I mean, a lot of Nature's Prophet are okay with getting a 10 to 12 minute Midas, simply because he could find farm so much quicker later on. Anyways, he needs a level. He wants to hit 16 as soon as possible because of that Wrath of Nature.
There will be a gank on the top lane. Even a relocate coming through. How's in trouble. We won't have to look at the bear any longer. Thank God. He's taking a bunch of magic damage, and he goes down immediately. Is Wisp going to leave Pycat top, though? Are they going to turn this into a push?
Yeah, I think so. You should leave him up top. You do have to bring a Basilius turned on Razor.
Goodbye,
So.
1437.
Well, maybe if you could tether away. He does tether away, but there is Omni Slash available.
Ooh.
They might have to use
Oh,
it.
the
tether
tether
stun on the last second.
Oh my gosh.
What a player.
And G picks up the Dragonite in the mid lane. Will he die? 49 HP. Not quite enough, but even still, trading EXP and a kill is worth it.
Yeah, nobody got the XP there, so. Well, game was hard for TongFu.
Man, he was so ready to do the Omni Slash. Actually, I don't know if he had the mana for it, actually. He doesn't have enough right now, and he only has a 1 stick.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe the stick would have been enough, but in any case, that was survived, and TongFu is just missing opportunity wherever they go. I just don't know where they actually get those push going on. Lone Druid says, alright, forget it. We're going to TP back. We're going to just straight up push 5-man right now. We're down 7 kills, but we have Healing Ward. We have the bear. Let's go.
Yeah, this is what they were planning for. The ward finally goes down. This is going to cost Juggernaut the mana for his Omni Slash, so he's going to have max a spin unless somebody has an Arcane by some way, and they don't actually. All the TPs are coming. Brax looking for a Sprout. Going to catch King J. He doesn't actually have a Quelling Blade, and they're sapping damage from the bear. Bear essentially does 0 damage right now. So walking in Tango pickup kills the Healing Ward. Going on King J. G in a bit of trouble here, taking a lot of burst damage, but nice heals for him. King J ends up going down. Are they going to take the bear is the question. They
should
almost
kill the
could.
bear.
No, they want heroes instead. Stun from Moo. Hookshot goes in on Banana. Banana likely to fall. Moo running for his life. Another Sprout. Nobody has tangos, and they're caught again. Great Cog going to catch the bear, but G's got to get out.
Well, the bear's still alive.
It's pretty tanky at this point.
Yeah.
Tower goes down. Razor gets the last hit. 1,500 gold's going to buy him a drum.
Yep, Midas gets picked up on Nature's Prophet, and LGD International is just rolling. We talked about how the frontal push could be easily stopped when you have things like Clockwork Hook, when you have the relocate. I mean, they were just scared, and they ran from a single Razor, but a Sprout caught them off, the Clockwork Hook caught them off, and it was just easy picking at that point. LG China working on a huge level advantage. I mean, if you look at the level differences, you have level 10 on the Clockwork and a level 4 Rubik.
You have 2 level 4 supports.
Right, like, what do they even do?
And both of these supports really important at level 6. They're going to try to catch Misery. He's going to get spotted. He's going to probably juke into the corner and try to TP. There's the disruption. Here comes Will. Oh, he can't get
Omni
through.
Slash, no sight.
Oh my gosh. That was so sick. I didn't realize that actually forces, like, you can't walk through that. He was obviously blocked,
Apparently,
right?
you can't walk through that. I
mean-
thought you could walk through it. He's off the map.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's in a different dimension. Surely you can just casually stroll through here, but I guess not. The Mud Golem is pushing, ready to take the tower. It's at 250 HP. Pycat wants to defend this. He has spent his money. The drum is flying out, but I don't think they're going to be able to defend this. They're going to have to let this one go, but I don't think it matters that much. They're up 12-2, and Brax is trying to, yeah, he's going to take a tower on the same time.
I mean, you're doing your 4-man, 5-man push to trade for a tower. It's just such a poor trade. But I mean, when you're behind, beggars can't be choosers, right? You can't ask for good trades. So Moo TP back in the mid lane, but back on the bot. Oh, the entire team's gonna get cut off. The bear trying to get some blocks.
Bear gank.
Nicely done. Shansheng, he doesn't. Does he have boots? Oh, nicely done. Great chill. Walking back out. Whew. That was a good recovery. Where's that bear? Is the bear dead?
It must have resummoned or recalled.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's fine.
That Mud Golem's still okay up top. So if these supports ever hit level 6, maybe something could happen. There's a hand of Midas. All right, recovery Midas time. Here we go. Chuan did it on Tree yesterday. And now we're going to see how do it
Well,
on the bear.
it might be enough. I mean, it is going to give him some pretty significant DPS increase since he has the phase boots. Stacking both plus damage and attack speed is usually going to give you the best overall DPS. So it'll be kind of nice for him for now. He's literally just using the bear to tank. So he can catch up with this. Hopefully he goes Radiance or something. I don't even know. It's going to be a really tough game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think TongFu, the entirety of their lineup to actually just massively tank up. Like, get anything. Bracers, magic wands, upgrade your strength treads, and just make sure that you just you know that engagement they had on the bot lane? They take the tower and then they barely make it out. Like, they just need to do more of that. Maybe they barely get a kill against somebody
You
with
making
their lone
puns?
druid. What?
Jamaican puns.
Yeah, of course I am. And all they need to do is tank up. All they can do is tank up. So
Well, G doing the same thing. Look at all these strength items he's got. Treads with an Ogre Club and a Bracer. I love when Clockworks actually do take a lot of damage but barely survive. That's usually the sign that you're playing your hero to the utmost potential, especially in an aggressive initiator like this. Forces all of the nukes out, and then you can escape and try to stay alive.
yeah, I actually wish that he would go for something like an Acceptor. I mean, BKB would be decent against this game. Like, you BKB walk in and there's nothing TongFu can do. But at the same time, if you drop out hooks every 10 seconds, oh, Shansheng in huge trouble. He gets burst up. The Clockwork Hook actually missed, but the relocate on the back, like, they're in huge trouble. Because here's some big bad Razor with that ultimate turned on. Although with that said, Paikai not doing too much just yet. Spin comes off. The call goes on against King J. King J does have the Omni Slash. Is he dropping it just yet? I think they're waiting for 1437 to go back out. It's a 2-for-0 trade so far. Mu in huge trouble as well. Pycat's on the run. Still has Omni Slash. They're not going for it. They want G, and they are going to get G. Yeah. Okay, they finally got him.
Took a little bit of doing there, an Omni Slash plus the stun and a little bit more, but
But I mean,
they do get it.
2-for-1 trade, tier 1 tower defended. When you're down by, what, 9, 10 kills like that, that's okay, right?
Yeah, that's not bad. It could have been much worse. Brax was able to pick up the Visage, who was TPing away. He's going to finish his Shadow Blade at 15 minutes for an offlane. 2-0-7 for him. He's playing fantastic. He's the highest net worth in the game, and he was versus a lone druid. That is hard to do, guys.
I mean, the ganks up top very helpful, and the fact that he picked up Midas just accelerated him up. And of course, he has 7 assists, so that's also very helpful as well. And now a tower lesson, so continue to work on his advantage.
How are those supports doing for levels here? Level 6 on Rubik, still level 5 on Visage. Not the Visage that we've seen in other days, that's for sure. He's going for Medallion first, but he definitely wants those bats for the stun, that's for sure.
I think he should just go earn. Forget Medallion. Like, forget about offense. Well, I guess Medallion
They
does
gotta
give
get
you...
kills first, buddy. They've only gotten 3 this game.
I mean, I guess it's 6 armor, right? So maybe that's very important as well. But oh no, Brax says, oh, Clockwork Hook is gonna hit. Yeah, at least he turned level 6, right? At least he has some birds.
3-0-6 for Brax now. 900 gold away from his Sheepstick. Or 900 into it, that is. That would be ridiculous. 16-minute Sheepstick with a Shadow Blade in a phase. Game
I
would
mean,
end.
LGD just owns the enemy jungle right now. Misery does not care walking into the enemy jungle. Brax does not care. Pycat does not care.
I don't even think this is a fight that TongFu want to take, because their support heroes aren't even full. I mean, G's just being annoying, launching rockets. At this point, when they're this far behind, even a 200 nuke magic damage is kind of a big deal. And he's going to continue spamming that, possibly counter-pushing mid. He is still looking for supports. And, yep, dang, How just gets nuked.
Actually, one of my favorite thing to do in pub games, if you ever get really far ahead, like G is, I just select one support on the enemy side, and I just track him all over the entire game. Just rocket him, rocket him. It surprisingly sends them back in the base so many times that like they are just starting to fall further and further behind. So that the next time you hook him, like they're dead. And some pro players do subscribe to that mentality at times. Let's see if G is going to be selecting, for example, Rubik to do that. But so far, he's just kind of harassing all over the place, scouting for his team.
Well, Pycat does have his mech completed, so extra armor for him could be very useful against all the physical damage coming out of TongFu. And, of course, most importantly, he can heal his allies, especially the low HP Wisp. Think about, like, Wisp losing half of his HP, and then Razor, if Razor mechs the Wisp, then he gets a whole, what, 500 HP heal or something like that? It's like 400, I think.
Yeah, 400.
Very good.
Well, LGD is going to not rush for anything, not going to just take any overcommitment of fights. But to be honest, if they want to group up as 5 and just push, or just split push, group us 4 and have Brax push somewhere else, they could do it as well. But they're playing very passively. One thing I've noticed is that they won't really go for kind of random pushes. They want to initiate with the hook, they want to backstab with Brax, and that's pretty much it. And I wonder why, because to be honest, I really think they will win in a 5v5 engagement right now.
Yeah, I think they could as well, especially at the tier 2 top tower. It's not that easy to defend because people can easily swing around through the jungle, things like that. There is some good rune control from Sansheng here. He's got a sentry in the low ground with this great observer ward. This is a great ward to place if you're scared of placing this high ground, by the way. So he's got one down there. There's going to be some rockets trying to scout out heroes, and they have sentries everywhere. They should be able to catch Brax if he tries to sneak past, but it looks like LGN just wants to do it the normal way. Wisps in position, and look what they did.
Yep.
They said, oh, we're going to slow push top, and Brax is going to take your tower.
Yeah, that's why I say, you know, they definitely could 4-man push on one lane and then split push with another, and well, Brax mix the execution. And now that they see Juggernaut on the bot lane, they definitely could take a 5v4 fight up top.
Well, Brax just TP'd, so they got to wait 15 seconds at least, but no new items here for Lone Druid. He's up to 3,000 gold, though, so he will be approaching his Relic. And Radiance was recently buffed to do 50 magic damage per second. 1 or 2 years ago, that was only 35, so the item is significantly stronger than it was in the past.
Yeah, that's one of the most amazing item progression that you can get on a Lone Druid right now, which is Midas into the Radiance. Now, unfortunately, I guess for TongFu's, if they watched the game yesterday, LGD International is not shy at ganking that bear. They did it against IG all day, and they could do it against that bear. And the bear right now is not even tanky. It's not even fast, so they could easily just kind of murder the bear if there is a high-price item like Radiance on it.
OG is going to go in top, though. Moo's taking a bunch of damage here. Doesn't have his BKB yet. Brax comes in, wants to finish off. Banana's so low, but he doesn't get him. Sprout and the healing ward on the ground gives him a bunch of heals. More nukes, and no deaths from TongFu, despite all of their HPs being absolutely low.
Yeah, that was really, really key familiar stunts being done by Shansheng. Like, it actually stopped the entirety of the team, aside from the clockwork that was inside. So, in fact, G had to retreat. But because of that, they would give up a tier 2. And that's yet another tower going to LGD International. If you want to look at the go graph, it's 12,000 now. And it's probably going to shoot up to like 13, 14,000 in just a bit. And the last tier 2 stands on the mid lane. And that's going to go down in like a minute. If that.
Yep, they've drawn on the map. They want to shift over, take the mid tower, most likely take Roshan, and then go high ground. And it's definitely something they have the team composition for. Wisp means that your carry is going to be extremely mobile. You have a Clockwork who can shoot and initiate. Shadow Demon can cover you in case things go bad. And yeah, Nature's Prophet can show up wherever as well.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet surprisingly still doesn't have Hex yet, unless the Courier has some of its component just yet. Not to say that Brex is not playing well or anything like that, but he just has such an effective start. I'm just surprised that he doesn't have it. Because they're owning so hard.
Yep, Shadow Demon gets the last hit, trying to deny with the birds, but they were unable to do so. And now they'll push the lanes out a bit, and then most likely take Roshan. So Ancients first for Brax. It's a good place to jump between the jungle as well as the lane when the lane gets too pushed up. And are they going to be able to do this before they even get major items up? I mean, the Dire team is not working with much here. There's no BKB yet on Dragon Knight. Are they even going to get the Radiance in time? I mean, maybe they just want to push before the Radiance comes out.
I feel like this is one of those Chinese timid team. Be like, maybe we're safe for buyback. I mean, TongFu, if they buy back right now, the game is actually just over. Just flat out over.
They're
They
too
need
far
to
behind.
just go for big items, as big as possible. Like, if you're going to go for a Vlad's on How, that's understandable. But, again, going for Vlad's or, like, small items that don't really improve your teamfight too much really won't turn the tide of the battle. But there's a BKB finish on Clockwork, and I think that's the high ground item they were waiting for.
Yeah, that's basically the only way that TongFu can do damage right now, other than an Omni Slash, is that they need Magic Burst. So if Clockwork initiates, Rubik, Visage, Dragonite, they are not going to be able to touch him at all. And he's just going to be able to sit there and do a full duration Battery Assault. That's 1,000 magic damage over the duration, so you cannot deal with that.
Yeah, more importantly, like when he hooks in, suddenly all the 4 heroes on the LG International side just gets to run on top of the ramp and just run in because everybody else is dealing with that Clockwork. So it basically is like a pipe initiation in a sense for the rest of the team because, well, he's tanking everything. By the way, Brex is soloing the Roche.
Totally normal.
Yep.
Nature's Prophet at this point of the game. Once he picks this up, plus uses his last Midas, he will have enough for his Sheep Stick. So 22-minute Sheep Stick with a Shadow Blade and a Phase Boots. That is pretty sick.
So, Purge, I mean, do you think this is actually the Wisp, or do you think it's just everything else? Or is it just a clock that just snowball and the game was just kind of over?
I think it was a combination of the mid pull into the gank. From there, G was able to snowball because he's talented. And he got the haste rune, which wasn't covered by TongFu. Like, they didn't even react to it appropriately, so he got the free kill. I mean, that's basically like 2 small mistakes that led to more kills. And I don't think TongFu is really liable to win the tri-lane either. I mean, I guess the kills snowballed. Like, for example, Nature's Prophet got 6, which helped them get the double on the bot lane. But, I mean, the mistake that could have stopped everything was the haste rune gank.
Right.
You know, something that small could have made a huge, huge difference.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What happened? I missed it.
Oh, there was a bear right here. Clockwork was right here. He threw the hook shot just as he pulled him back.
I see.
Wasted the hook shot.
Well,
100%.
I mean, I don't think they need the hook shot.
TongFu has done one cool thing at least. He's put some poison actually. He's going to try to kill this bear if possible. Soul Catcher as well.
I'm telling you, LG International, they haste some bears.
They don't have a way to initiate though.
This bear is so slow. Like,
he doesn't have boots yet actually.
Yeah.
If they kill this, well, the idea is if they kill this bear twice, they don't even have to worry about if he has a Radiance, you know.
well, it doesn't have anything, so it just
300 gold to Misery. 3.5 man needs his farm.
He actually does have the Radiance right now if he wants it. He is actually going to walk his hero to buy it? No. Yeah, there's a Radiant Spear, so that's actually pretty big because there's no resummon on the bear. They're going to try to defend. Oh my god, this birds are just dropping down. But one good thing that TongFu can do, and there he, well, scratch that, because here we go.
BKB is used, and they're going to drop Moose so fast here. He wasn't able to survive that at all. The rest of the heroes trying to do anything, but the Radiance Burn is barely tickling them, especially with that mech.
Well, TongFu buys back. Crisis averted for 30 seconds until Clockwork Hook comes back up.
How do you feel about this Sanjin Yasha Razor?
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, when you're trying to win the game right now, SMY is one of those very underrated kind of timing items, I want to say. It gives you so much HP and so much like damage for its cost that it's so good. So Radiance is trying their best to kind of slow down this push. Pycat doesn't really care, going on the high ground. But Nana spell Plasma Field, one of the better spell. Lift him up, G gets defensively disrupted. They do toss him back still though. The Birds gets resummoned, trying to apply the Sun. A little bit too slow on Shining Strand. Nice attempt though. We do not have Clockwork Hook just yet. In about 5-6 seconds, it will be back up. But look at Pycat. He's going to high ground. There's one kill on Rubik. Wow. He did.
Oh, wow, great double cogs there. He's got King Jade's going to take the ulti, but that's an Aegis respawn, and he's fine with that. Actually, they get pushed out somehow. How did that happen?
They killed the cog, physically right-click, and they just walked out
okay.
that choke. But, ooh, nice healing ward, bringing them back up to full HP as well. They successfully defended so far. I guess there's Glyph still available. TongFu, for better or for worse, still holding on for their god, you know.
Yeah. One of the best advantages of trying to defend an early push is that usually your heroes don't have the beast damage of late game, so they can't just go high ground without creeps. So if you can just kill the creeps and try to sustain, it's going to be okay. But keep in mind, there's 2 buybacks in the course of that move. The Dragonite purchased back, as did the Rubik. So any chances of them finishing some good items soon are they're going to be delayed. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only about 600 gold, but still, 600 gold away from
I think all of the hope is on the Lone Druid right now. Like, he does have a resummon now on the bear, so his bear could play a little bit more aggressively. Perhaps he could even start buying a boots simply on the bear. He does have a chainmail, so
I like that choice. It's
yeah.
very smart. Every point of armor gives approximately 6% extra HP against physical damage.
Yep.
So when you already have 2,700, a chainmail pays off real hard.
Clockwork Hook comes right in, and right now BKB gets popped, and that bear has got to do the Radiance Burn. Nothing so far just yet. House still being focused. No, not really. 1437 gets lifted. He's dead. Pycat in the middle of everything. Can we get an Entangle, my friend? No Entangle just yet. Buyback coming from the Wisp. Maybe he's going to look for the relocate. The Radiance burning all of these supports. Misery down to about half HP. Offensively disrupting. Any Entangles? Nothing. I mean, TongFu luck is not just on their side at all, but they are holding back in the other side of the base, so we do have relocate back in. It looks like they're going to focus on Moo. Moo's going to... Can he TP out? No, it gets cancelled. He's walking back in the base. There's Stus. I'm not sure why. They finally do get the kill. There's no buyback on the Dragonlight. And, of course, a relocate back up. But Brax is also very low. He's going down. That was a huge pickup in terms of kill. And they defend.
So 500 gold goes to Lone Druid. He's now up to 1,500. This could purchase him either a boots or work ever so closer to that AC. If they grab an AC, 5 bonus armor to all of these underfed heroes would be a huge advantage, and the attack speed would also pay off. So that's why they dusted, by the way, trying to pick off Brax, and they were able to snag the kill. So, see a Rax? No, I don't.
Yeah. Well, TongFu has bought themselves a little bit of breathing room. I'm not really sure whether they're making a comeback, though. The gold graph slightly dips, but it's still, what were we at, 20? 19,000? Something like that. We're at a astronomical amount. You gotta keep in mind that even though TongFu held, they have used 3 buybacks, it felt like, or 2 at the very least, such that, yeah, sure, their buildings are alive, but they're not getting any stronger as heroes.
Where is our buyback number? There it is. We actually had a buyback from Wisp, and that's the only new one. So,
Yep.
Not too bad for them. Net worth overall shows profit on the top. Razor's at number 2. Does he have anything past those S and Y? Just, 2,000 gold. Please be a refresher. Hoping.
You need Acceptor first, because they don't hit the building, right?
I mean, you can still hit heroes. You probably don't have the mana pool for it, though, if you get a refresher.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Acceptor's still a very decent item in terms of pushing up the high ground. You get great HP, so... Although, with the mech already selected, maybe he just wants a little bit more physical right-click, because he's kind of very utility already. One thing that the Lone Druid could be doing right now is basically sending his bear to like the top lane, for example, and he is doing just that. And then just slowly push that creep wave. But the thing that he has to be very careful about is that Prophet could just basically port in and just sprout the bear and keep right-clicking.
We might be able to catch him, actually, looking for the main proc, not going to land. Lone Druid's really fast with 4 levels of Rabbit. It's a free 20% movement speed. For reference, Yasha gives like 12, so
Okay.
Rabid levels are.
I thought it was
ton.
10. Let me go.
I believe Yasha is 12.
They keep-
Manta
they
is
kept
10,
buffing it,
I
yeah.
believe. Yeah, Manta is 10. A Sanjin Yasha, which is a Yasha, is 12.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yasha is 10.
No, the
Sanjin
bear.
Yasha is 12 though.
The bear getting ganked.
It has no damage. Great Sprout. That's going to guarantee the kill.
Yeah.
That is essentially what a 3-second stun or something like that.
300 gold.
And Brax picks it up while he drops his ulti. So
Need a crawling blade on that bear, man.
guess so.
That crawling blade on the bear.
So Bear is dead for a bit. He's going to resummon it.
Yo, if they lose this bear right now, the game's good. Because they're not gonna defend without Radiance.
They cannot do a solo gank on the Bear with just clock though. He's got another armor piece. Plate Mail's picked up.
Of course he can. You can just hook in, cog it, and
No, there's
profit TP.
Oh man. Oh,
Oh.
that's 0 for 2, guys.
Bear 2, G0. Get good.
The fact that they can just blow hook shots on the Bear attempts and just be okay with it.
I
is
mean, you
crazy.
seen that game against IG, right?
I
You were
did. They
watching that.
farmed those Bears, man.
Yeah, they had a Beastmaster. They were roaring the bear. They were swapping the bear.
They see the Bear and they just salivate at the gold prospects. They used to play Lone Druid as well. LGD Inc. used to pick
Yeah.
the hero a lot a couple months ago, but now all they see is food.
Well, we just need Shanshan to pick up a Midas. And then GG out in 10 minutes. And we'll have IG again.
I don't think you could handle that.
I don't think I can. I'm already like...
It's going to be... Oh, I was hoping Butterfly maybe, but it's going to be a Reaver actually. So I guess Razor's going to be picking up either a Satanic or a Heart. Satanic actually not a horrible pickup for Razor because he can do so much damage because of Static Link. If he then in turns uses that for lifesteal, he could be lifestealing a pretty big amount. And there's not that much sustained damage output on TongFu right now. Really their major damage source is
The Radiance.
some limited use abilities like Omni Slash and Radiance.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Reaver is just a good choice. Like, it doesn't matter what he transitions into, as long as it's an item that helps him tank. That's why things like Acceptor or Reaver, or heck, even like a Ultimate Orb into like a Manta would do it. Just anything that lets him walk on the high ground, a little bit of HP up. And we're gonna see a stage of the game where I call the LGD in push, which means it's gonna be long, it's gonna be grueling, and it's gonna take quite a while. Seems like they always struggle to push up against high ground, especially against Chinese teams.
yeah, they keep prioritizing going for kills though. I mean, some of the dives have definitely been a little bit exaggerated and unnecessary. I mean, did they really need to have G fighting over here by the fountain while the team fight was going on? Same thing, they TP'd in with a Wisp. They could have been hitting tower, you know? Maybe they're screwing around, who knows? It's hard to say. I mean, TongFu's not a pushover team by any means, but LGD Int is making them look like it.
Yeah, at the same time though, LG Int, you know, credit to them, their lineup is more or less designed for these hero kills, and less so for tower kills. At least not the base towers. And well, they will deward, even a ward in front of that tier 3 tower, because they have a gem now on Shadow Demon.
Yep. Nice gem pickup here. Shadow Demon doing his job, but looking like a 3.5. He's got a 4 staff and urn and an arcane boots.
I
Plus a
mean,
gem.
when you're up by like, how much gold? 20,000 gold. You better look like a 3.5, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure. Unless you're IX Mike, then it's like magic stick and boots and maybe one Ironwood branch.
Well,
Run boots, of course.
how is at least getting some creep on the bot lane here? Is any Dragon Knight pick up any? In fact, Dragon Knight's up too. Oh, so we have a little engagement up top here.
Still doesn't have his BKB, by the way.
I mean, he's actually very close to it. I just don't know what a BKB would do. Because at this point, LGN is starting to physically right-click a decent amount. Prophet has already got an MKB. He's actually harassing the tower on the bot lane. This is an issue. They gotta do something about this Nature's Prophet. And it's not like they could actually two-man gank him, because if you two-man gank him, suddenly the relocate comes in, and let's say brings in a Razor, and you're in big trouble.
There's a big MKB pickup on Nature's Prophet as well. His right-click damage is going to be definitely more than Pycat's now. Once he saps full damage potential. So his split pushing is going to be pretty strong. Roshan is up. Is he just going to take this solo? It kind of looks like it.
Why not? He
this
took
is
the last one solo.
This is a good way to essentially guarantee that you'll have this. There's literally no way that the Dire team can leave their base. If they do, they have 4 heroes from LGD Int who are extremely farmed and can probably take a 4v1. And if they engage on the 4, Nature's Prophet will say, okay, I'll get Roshan late, let's go fight.
Yeah.
So, really easy way to take Roshan late.
I mean, I guess the Barry Derry could just run in and snag the Aegis in the most
He could.
unamazing Aegis
That
snag.
pig.
The couriers, oh god. Oh god, this courier.
Spider Courier. He's pinging for it. He's pinging for it. He's going to have to sprout. That's the only way to get vision.
No, you can rocket,
Uh-oh,
rocket
right,
from sight. There you
oh,
go.
nice, nice, nice. They pick up the kill. That was most likely going to be for the Hyperstone on the bear. He did spend the money. Didn't get the Hyperstone. It's sitting on the bear, or on the courier, sorry.
He'll get it in 3 minutes. Don't worry. This
mean,
game's not gonna end.
You're right. I mean, they're going to turtle us for at least 15.
No, I don't know. Maybe with that Aegis, they just go full in. Didn't that
Poison
happen yesterday
stacks on
against
banana.
IG yesterday?
I'm sorry? Oh, the super long game. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it happened
That game
exactly.
took forever.
Yeah, I think it was a hex that was picked up and they just got killed. But seems like LG International is scripting all these games to go one way. All right, here's how we do. We own the laning stage. We gank the hell out of a spare bear and we kill the courier and then we win.
Yeah. And we
Seems like a
very
game plan.
slowly take the towers.
Yeah. Seems like a game plan.
Very slowly. Looks like PyCat purchasing stuff. It is going to be a heart. So a heart pickup for him, not going to be a satanic. Just wants to make sure that his HP can be full at all times. This gives you approximately 1,000 HP, by the way. Pretty good item.
Allows him to basically walk up tank tier 3 for a bit and then hits it a couple times and then turn
Yeah,
back.
that's true. The only way that hearts get disabled is by player-based damage. So unless he takes damage from the Radiance or the Bats or something, he will be constantly regenerated. The hookshot goes in, though, onto the Dragonite BKB for both of them. And Moo goes to large form. Doesn't stun on PyCat. Good choice, but he's getting all of his damage sapped away. And PyCat is now going to be up to a big damage amount. What is he sitting at? 200, and now it's time to right-click Moo. Are you going to be able to survive? This is the question. PyCat's attack moving, but one, maybe two more hits to go down, but a great stun here. Changing targets now onto How. The bear, where is it? It doesn't matter. He goes down. Mega kill for him. She's going to die, but here comes the respawn, and nobody else on LGD died other than Shadow Demon. He purchases back, and he is already almost back anyways. So Rax is going to fall, and finally they hit the high ground.
That's got to be too late of Rax. I mean, How being dead for 60 seconds without any kind of resistance coming out from the rest of the team. BKB already used on Moo, so that's probably the best fighting item. And King J still has that Omni Slash, but really, I mean, he won't find a good angle to drop it. When you have Treants, creeps walking around, and now Legions of the Razor, they're going to have to do something. Spins in. They can just right-click him, and they aren't.
I love this combo so much. Hookshot goes back in as well. Sen Shen going to quickly fall, but he does do a lot of damage to Brax before he goes down. PyCat getting one. Will he get three? Banana? No, the great stun from Moo. That's going to slow him down.
Wrath.
Ulti comes through as well. But Moo, will you stop? Here comes the Wisp. He's trying to set up the stun. Great sprout in by Brax, and good game is called by TongFu. LGD in finally breaks the high ground. 35-minute game. PyCat doesn't even care about fountain damage. Look at this. So tanky.
Easy.
And what a win there from LGD Int. We thought TongFu might be on the ropes, but this could go the opposite way. If LGD Int 2-0s TongFu, they're both going to be 4 and 6. And then who gets top 4? I don't know, man. What do you say, Lumi?
RIP China.
It's looking like that. Complete switch around of last year.
Because if all the Chinese teams are in the lower bracket, they're going to knock each other out, right? Like, so
That's a really good point.
So RIP China.
So does China have a Navi? Do they have that one team that can make a run?
Rattlesnake. Here we go.
Because I think IG might be doing the best right now. I looked like they were beating Orange a little bit earlier. I don't think that game's ended yet. But is there one Chinese team that could be like? Last year it was Navi standing against the onslaught of Asian teams. Is there one Asian team that can stand against an onslaught of Western teams?
I just don't see the same comeback mechanic like Navi has. There's not a whole lot of teams that can do what Navi does, where they can slop around a little bit and then they end up stomping later.
Can we?
I don't know.
Can we get the brackets?
You know that one overlay.
Give us the group.
The one overlay that we love.
Mr. Kawa. They're not updated, but we'll go with what we had just to get a general sense of how things stood.
TongFu now sitting 4 and 5. This is going to put LGD Int at 3 and 6. If they win the next game, they will be sitting both tied at 4 and 6, which means, if anything, it's looking really good for Orange and IG and Liquid.
My prediction for today was that Orange would go 5 and 1. IG's the match I thought they'd 1-1. The other two opponents they have to play were two of these bottom 3 teams that we see right now. I forgot which 2 it was. So they already took one of those 2-0. If they take this next one 2-0, and let's say they 1-1 IG, then they in 3 and be in prime position to finish top 4 in the group.
So, all right, let me script this out. Orange has to lose every one of the matches.
You're seeing how LGD can finish top 4?
What's that?
What are you looking at?
In order for the Chinese teams to finish top 4, Orange have to lose every one of the matches. TongFu has to go 1-1 against IG, which is quite likely. And on the left side of the bracket, Dignitas have to get 0-2 by Navi, have to get 0-2 by Fnatic, which
I think that
actually can happen, yeah.
Yeah.
And then LG has to win all of their games.
I still think, yeah, I actually, looking at that, I think it's fairly reasonable to say DK and LGD could finish 3rd and 4th in that group. Higher than that, probably not.
But LGD has to play against Zenith, Mals, and Navi.
Well, they got to play against Navi still.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But if Dignitas loses 4 games,
So-
and then LGD loses 1-2-0 to Navi,
So
then
who
they'd
has a
be
better
tied.
tiebreaker, right?
Yeah.
If you have 2 7-7 team, who has
No,
a
if
better
it's
tiebreaker?
if it's a tiebreaker that decides upper or lower bracket, they actually play a decider match. from
Oh,
what-
sweet.
Yeah,
So
so there
more
could
matches.
there could be decider matches tomorrow. There's only 2 games, 2 time slots scheduled. I think it's actually fairly in the question that LGD Gaming could end up tied with Dignitas for 4th.
Oh, so they're not doing Dignitas 2-0 LGD, so Dignitas deserves the first slot.
I think there's a decider match even if they already played.
Okay, good.
Maybe if they win the head-to-head 2-0, then maybe it's different. I'm pretty
So
sure
you don't
there's-
even know.
I'm pretty sure there's a
Where are my
decider.
rules? My Chinese
Go to
teams
the
are...
website, Dota2.com.
Oh my god, that site don't work.
It does work. It has all the rules right there.
Alright, okay, I'll look it up.
So, I mean, yeah. MEFC 0-10. They'll be out of the running. Mouse Sports 2-8. Still pretty much out of the running here. It seems like it's mainly if somehow LGD can slip in. Maybe Zenith, but very unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think Zenith is going to be able to move up either. They have
If
some,
Zenith won out, they'd be 8-6.
They have some moments where they look really good, but I just don't think Zenith is going to be able to hit the top 4. I don't know.
Now forget if Zenith is hitting top 4. If Zenith are going to knock down LGD China, right? That's the bigger question here.
How many games do they have to win to knock out LGD China?
If they just win 1 game against LGD China,
One game.
then I think
That's
it's
it.
very unlikely that Dignitas can finish, or that Dignitas doesn't finish top 4.
Right.
I think that's pretty possible. I mean, I think Zenith could take 1.
They can take a game off any
Okay.
team.
Yeah, I would agree
What
with
is
that.
it more likely?
Except for
LGD
Alliance.
China dropping 1 to Zenith or taking 1 from Navi? Because if they go 1-1 against Navi, that's their extra win that they gave away to Zenith in a sense. So, and you know, they went 3-2 against Navi in the Alien World Cup.
Hasn't we only cast what 2 Navi games, but they're both on day 1.
Yeah.
Hasn't Navi just been crushing everyone pretty much, except for that 1 loss to Fnatic? So I think
2 losses to
based
Fnatic.
on that, you'd have to say dropping 1 to Zenith is more likely.
Right. But I still think that LG China could, in theory, 1-1 Navi or maybe even 2-0 Navi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's
about
possible.
a 2-0, but I could
No,
I could see them
yeah,
winning a game.
2-0 probably not. Anything is possible. I mean, I still feel like these Chinese teams are capable of better.
RIP China.
I'm still like Lumi, where I'm having trouble coming to terms with this idea that they're weak, that they're losing. I still think there's something there, but we'll see. So I think that's gonna wrap up game 1. There's a best of 2 though, guys. So stay with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll see if LGDN can make a clean toe sweep of it.